Yo, what's up, and welcome to the Real DDP blog. Today it is Wrasslin Wednesday. Ooh, yeah, that means the Macho Man. Ooh, brother. Can you dig it? Is back. That's right, the Macho Man Randy Savage and DDP feud is still moving on. Exactly, just starting to kick off. Last week, you might remember that we had the hit on the NWO with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall doing me a huge favor of letting me drop him, the first person to drop him, which was huge for my career. And the only reason the Savage Page feud ever happened was because Hall and Nash were cool enough and my brothers to actually step up for me and help me out there and give me that huge break that they did. So I left you last week with Savage, actually Hall and Nash coming down with the big ass pipes, coming down to for their retribution, and Savage slid in from behind and bang! He hit me with that can, and boy, did he whack me in the real world, yeah. So that started our feud. So today we're picking up with the interviews, yeah. So, interviews, it's all about the interview. I mean, you could be the greatest worker in the world, or wrestler, for you people who aren't smart to it. You can be the greatest worker in the world, but if you can't talk, you can't draw because it's that whole rap, it's that chemistry, it's that charisma, that it factor that even though people know that wrestling isn't fake, it's fixed or predetermined. Even though that they know it's predetermined, it's when that, what do you call it? That element of doubt steps in. And when that element of doubt steps in and you start to believe what the guys are saying, it's like watching a great movie when you got a good actor out there who you're going, wow, this is live. Or they start crying and you start crying, and I've had people say, man, you've made me cry before. Of course, we're talking about women here. But it's all about connecting with the people. And I often said when I was being interviewed a lot in 97, 98, 99, but especially in 97, 1997, when the Page Savage feud was Pro Wrestling Illustrated's feud of the year, when they said, how did you come from like nowhere to become one of the biggest names in professional wrestling? Well, when Paige Joseph Falkenberg, which is my God-given name or my original name, when Paige Joseph Falkenberg stopped trying to be Diamond Dallas Page and Diamond Dallas Page started to take on the characteristics of Paige Joseph Falkenberg, bang! Man, my career took off like a rocket. So in these sequence of events, these interviews that you're about to see, because they're pretty much in chronological order, the first one is a combination of like 6 interviews I did from Nitro to Saturday Night with Lee Marshall to Nitros with Gene Okerlund, 2 of my very favorite people to have interview me. Lee and I had a history from 1988 being in the AWA together, and he was a huge supporter of mine. So to actually get him to interview me in a time where my career was about to take off huge was a really big deal. And we had some great chemistry that went back and forth, as I did with Okerlund, who was unbelievable. But in this first interview, Dylan, my buddy who actually did Diamond Cutters on Everyone, which is a DDP tribute video, which has over 150,000 hits, which is amazing. Dylan put together these 5 or 6, 7 interviews, I'm not sure, and he pieced them together. And at the end of it, you'll see me and Gene Okerlund, and we're at Club La Vila in Panama City, and the camera goes dark. The lights go out, the whole place shuts down, but you can see me and Gene, and I'm still talking. And all of a sudden you hear Tony Schiavone over the PA going, is anybody, he said something like, we've got a problem here. And they played the music, went right to break. And when they came out, I just picked up where I left off. And these set of interviews were all about Savage not knowing my name. and Hogan not knowing my name or anybody, because it really was sort of true. Unless you were a real wrestling fan, you didn't know who Diamond Dallas Page was. If you were a casual viewer who watched wrestling once in a while, how did this guy Diamond Dallas Page, boom, who is this guy? You know, so Savage used that. He was really, 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 really smart. You know, and he used that whole reference of, ooh, what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. And we used that led right into the next interview that you'll see that we did at Uncensored in 1997. And that's where Liz comes out with Randy, and they bring the Playboy Nude Centerfold Playboy Nude Celebrities. And Kim and I had just done something with that magazine, and we originally shot 2 pages, and then they called her back and said the editor likes this layout so much that they want to do 4 more pages with you. So here it is in this celebrity Playboy's Nude Celebrity that Kim's going to be in, and I'm like pulling up my boots while she's just about to slip into something. It was really, really cool. It was a great layout, but I never told anybody. I never asked for permission. I just did it. And what was really so crazy about that was about 3 weeks before any of this hit, I'm having a beer with Eric Bischoff, and we're at Longhorn Saloon. And I said, I got to tell you something. He's like, what's up? I did this thing with Kimberly for this Playboy thing. It's celebrity nudes, and I just want to let you know it's coming out. He goes, what were you crazy? What were you thinking? He goes, they could fire you over that. You've got morality clauses in your thing. I said, well, if they fire me, then they fire me. You know, I'll just go to the WWF if I have to, you know, but no one else is helping me push my brand. I figured, what the hell, I'm gonna do it. So it was either a mistake or it wasn't. So 3 or 4 weeks later, here we are using it as the whole pitch to the angle. And when I'm sitting down with Liz and Kim and Randy to go over what we're gonna do, Kim says to Randy, now Randy, I know, you know, you probably want to be gentle with me, but if you need to grab me and pull me or whatever you need to do, just do it. She goes, you know, I'm sure I'm not going to like it, but it'll be good for the film. So when he walked out of the room, I looked at her and I went, are you crazy? Why didn't you tell me you were going to do that? I mean, he's so physical when he's not trying to be physical. I mean, Randy, man, was like a loose cannon. He was like, he wasn't trying to hurt anybody. But he was like the most passionate, intense cat I've ever been in a ring with. Maybe Goldberg. Yeah, might have been as intense as him. Randy could hold back more than Goldie. Goldie, that's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that in months to come. Great. I loved working with Goldberg. But the thing with Savage, he was so intense about it. If he grabbed you, he grabbed you. Now, if you weren't on camera, he took care of you. It was like dancing with him. But when he was on the red light zone, is what we called it, meaning the camera's on. Whoa, brother, yeah. Randy Savage is the real deal. So that's in the second video. That'll be the angle that we shot at Uncensored. And then the third one, without question, is my absolute favorite video ever. Not video, but my favorite interview. And Randy and I had an idea what we were going to say, but we got rushed because the time was ticking down, so we really didn't get to really plan it out. So a lot of this is when preparation meets improvisation, and that's when wrestling works. Yeah, brother. So I think you'll really you'll really dig it, brother. That last interview I have up here, and that will lead us into Spring Stampede, which I will be bringing out tomorrow. Or not, excuse me, tomorrow, but the following Wednesday, the following Wrestling Wednesday. So that's all I got for today. If you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere and you want to subscribe to my blog, go to www.realddp.com and subscribe. And for all of you who always want that last little inspirational moment with DDP, let's talk about goal setting, okay? When you're going to set a goal, just don't think it. Ink it. In other words, write it down, monkey. Ooh, yeah, get ready to feel the madness. Ooh, yeah, step into this. Bang, monkey.